All right, it's almost 11 minutes before we say goodbye here on Morning Live. For the duration of this Women's Month, Wealth Migrate will be holding staggered online Women's Wealth Masterclasses hosted by Hilda Lunderstedt to introduce women to successful business women who will also share their secrets and, of course, their strategies as to how to create wealth across the global economy. The first conversation took place on Friday, and the next will be on the 19th, the 26th, and the 31st. Hilda joins us this morning. Good morning to you and welcome to Morning Live.
Please, how are you?
I'm all right, looking lovely on this Women's Month.
Thank you.
Beautiful bright colors on a Monday. Hilda, talk to us about the master classes. Why are they really necessary?
For me, I just want to start the conversation with women because it's Women's Month, but I hope the conversation will continue well beyond this month, where we would like to just make women aware of so many issues, so many opportunities, so many things, so many conversations that they potentially are not being part of. And Wealth Migrate convinced me to start doing these weekly masterclasses, and I then invited people that's in my team working with me to share with other women the things that I know and the things that I believe women, should be discussing and should be talking about in their own lives for their own success.
And the first class was on Friday. How did it go?
It was my first webinar ever, so I say it's like never too old to do something for the first time. But it was really a great conversation. I spoke to Nadine Todd, who's the editor of Entrepreneur magazine, and she found that they get pitched all of these amazing entrepreneurs in the magazine, but never women. So the conversation was, why? Where's the woman? Where's the big business in women? Because there's some criteria. If you have to have 100 million rand turnover business, you can be featured in the magazines. And they just found that there's very few and far between. So we explored those as, are there different markers for success for women? Do women really care about having those big businesses, or is it?
Do they really care?
So I think they do, but I think women needs maybe help and assistance in how to grow their businesses. And also depending on the different phase of your life you might, if you have little kids, you might put your business a little bit on hold, and as the kids grow older, as you are freer, women then go and enter the business arena more harder. But how women do is very different. So sort of the outcome was maybe spend a little more time at men networking, see how men do it, learn from how, and start talking about your business, start branding.
Because we can learn a thing or two from them.
Yeah, exactly. Women typically don't talk about themselves, their business or their success. And it should be okay to share, because then you're a role model for other women.
But who's your target market, and how do you create this awareness?
I think that the target market is women, because even if many women, even if you don't have your own business, at some point in the back of your head, you still think maybe one day I would love to. But the question I always get from women is fear. How do you make that decision to start your own business? So if women can have conversations and can have conversations with other women, the fear hopefully could dissipate, and you can then venture.
Is it fear for failure maybe?
Yeah, I think it's just fear of what if things go wrong? How's it going to impact on my life? How am I going to do it all?
What will people say?
What will people say? So you got to at some point get over what will people say and just make the decision.
All right. No, I've just said on my introduction that you actually bring women who've made it big to speak to other women. But talk to us, unpack for us your guest list.
So what I do is I looked at the conversations women don't really have, and the questions I got, and I then looked for people who gave me some answers, and I invited them on. So for instance, one of the things that I believe is lacking for women is your structures. Is how do you protect yourself in business? How do you form your company, and who owns? So those are pretty much boring stuff to really talk about, but those are the things that's crucial when you either start out as a business or grow your business. So this coming week we're talking about like trusts and what to do and who not to do. When is your trust legal? What's illegal? How do you protect yourself through your structures? Because I've developed what I call my best life blueprint.
Okay.
So within your making your money, you managing your money, and you're keeping your money, sits a structure, and in that's your best life.
Okay.
So your money shouldn't determine the life you live. The life you live should determine how I'm going to make my money and how am I going to keep my money.
Yeah.
So I'm putting it the other way around, and it works for me. I've done that. We've had a whole team, and I said to them, this is what the life I want, how we're going to do. And we created that life for me so that I can have the freedom and the things that's important to me. And I hope to share that over the next couple of weeks. A question I also really get is, how do I give back? Many women, they get to a level of success, and then it's what's next? What do I do next? And they all have this, what's my purpose? So I've invited a friend of mine that we are involved in philanthropy, helping really raising millions for South Africans' charities, just to talk about the state of charity. How do you give back? Do you give time? Do you give money?
So I think really the point of corporate social investment.
Yes, because to my, I believe that every business, at some point, if you are not for planet or people, your business hasn't got a purpose. So we see the whole trend in the world is where brands stand for something that they believe in. South Africa's a little bit behind that, and I hope through conversations that we can create that awareness that I can make money and still do good for people of the country. And then our last webinar is a dear friend of mine is a male, Dolph de Roos. He lives in America, and we're going to talk about the mindset of wealth. How women and men are different, how they do things differently. Because you hear from a lot of women, but I think it's always we can learn so much from each other, men and women. In this world, we have to negotiate together. So I'm adamant it's not women empowerment, men empowerment, is how we're going to work together as men and women to get that message together as we all bring strengths to the party and to our businesses. So let's focus on how we can make a difference together instead of talking about me, I'm better than you. So that would be the last week's conversation.
That's going to be a very interesting one, but that's where we're going to leave it, Hilda. Thank you so much for your time and good luck with the remaining classes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. There you have it. That's Hilda Lunderstedt talking to us about the Women's Wealth Masterclasses as we are still celebrating Women's Month here in South Africa. Well, that's about